Good evening, everyone, and Merry Christmas. Thanks for joining us. I'm Katie Griffitts. Welcome to your Local 18 News at 5:30. A rescue cat in North Carolina is getting a lot of attention for her resemblance to Baby Yoda. Joy was found by Rowan County Humane Society volunteer on December 15th.
Ron, it's safe to say it is actually lit out here now. The annual Lynn Haven Christmas tree lighting ceremony started at 5:30, and the Christmas tree actually just lit up, as you can see behind me. There is a lot going on out here. Hey, Jess, yeah, I'm in Apalachicola, and what I'm seeing right now is actually the rain is beginning to die down, the wind has died down, and the sun has actually come out, so it looks like it might actually be a pretty day here. As you can see around there, the water has gone really high. There's been a big storm surge here, and we were actually standing over there under that bridge earlier, and the water had just completely took over the road. They ended up blocking off the road, so we had to move. The 4th of July is just a couple days away, and the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission wants to make sure you're staying safe on the water this Independence Day and every other day of the year. Hey, Olivia, I'm here at the Panama City Survivors Gym in downtown Panama City, which is going on right now. Now, I had to move a little bit away from the concert because it's so loud that it is difficult to hear me. But as you can see behind me, there's a lot of people. There's been people here all afternoon, and it's very crowded. You can see people are really coming together to celebrate 1 year after Hurricane Michael and show their resilience in the community. It's been 1 year since a controlled burn became out of control, leaving many East Point residents homeless and a trail of devastation along with it. Ron, when students and faculty entered their schools this time last year, they had no idea Hurricane Michael would hit our area, causing one of the most hectic school years our district's ever seen. Now they're back in school again, but 10 months later, Hurricane Michael is still on everyone's minds. Although the act might be heroic, the Bay County Sheriff's Office says it is still illegal and dangerous to enter the water, even if you are saving someone. Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill Friday in Okaloosa County prohibiting local governments from adopting sanctuary city policies. Heartland Rescue Ranch takes in abandoned and neglected animals. Puppies like Belle here are still in need of a permanent home. Hurricane Michael hit 1 year ago, but the memories of that day are still fresh in the minds of children.
I was huddled in a room with all my family and all my pets, and we kept on hearing stuff slamming against the window, and we didn't know what it was.
Like everyone, the lives of local children were turned upside down.
You still feel sad sometimes?
Because my entire bedroom's gone.
They missed school for over a month. Getting back to the classroom brought them together with a new sense of normalcy.
This picture is our first day back together. When we came back together after being out for 5 weeks, this was our reunited picture.
The immediate focus wasn't on books and tests. It was on healing after so many children went through so much.
Really, really sad because
I kind of felt blessed, but not at the same time.
blessed that everyone was okay and not a lot of people got hurt. We were really sad, like we didn't do anything the whole day. We basically just visited each other.
Petronas teacher Lori West saw how her students were hurting. That sparked an idea.
We talked about what would be a way that they could express their emotions and their feelings through their words, and what they came up with was absolutely beautiful.
The words of children can be pretty powerful. Mrs. West turned an everyday assignment into a lesson in healing, challenging her children to share and strengthen each other through poetry.
This is the storm of sadness. Everything was perfect, everything was fair. But then came a storm of wind, water, and air. The storm came at noon and left just as soon, but our no longer perfect world will never be the same. Now every roof is a roof of blue, and the storm of sadness has ruined things for me and you. But do not cry, do not fear. Panama City will once again be crystal clear, despite all the bad things that have happened here.
Students wrote from the heart, pouring their emotions from Michael onto paper.
It felt better because it's not so easy to say what you feel, but it's easier to write what you feel.
Like you kind of had to think about it before, you were I had to rewrite mine 100 times.
They say it helped them heal in ways they didn't expect.
This book helped me a lot to know that I'm not the only one who's feeling this way.
The poems were made into a book and published, the cover drawn by one of the students.
A lot of the pictures throughout here are actual pictures of their homes. I tried to make it as authentic as possible, so this is actually Jackie's backyard.
Now, almost a year after writing their poems, students can look back at what they wrote and see how far they've come.
We remember what happened and how it made us stronger and how it made us better people, instead of remembering how it ruined our lives and how it ruined Panama City.
While they aren't forgetting what happened on October 10th, 2018,
I'm kind of glad because we're building back up again, but I'm scared that another hurricane's gonna come and destroy what we already have.
they're ready to move forward with lessons learned from the past.
Sorta happy that it's over.
I'm happy that it's getting better and better.
I kind of feel like it was meant for a good reason because it brought the whole community together more.
And for teachers like Mrs. West, she also learned from her students who used words to help heal and hope.
They were first-hand account experienced survivors of a Category 5 hurricane, something that at the time no one else could say they had been through. So for them to give their first-hand account experience was just tremendous.
The book's dedication is a reminder to everyone you're not alone in what you've been through over the past year. And it's dedicated to all Hurricane Michael survivors. In Bay County, Katie Griffitts, News Channel 7.
Okay. Recently, videos have been popping up on social media showing sharks in Panama City Beach. I spoke with research biologist Dr. John Carlson about what to do if you encounter a shark. When a major hurricane is headed for the area, officials often ask you to evacuate. Bay County Emergency Services officials say there are certain routes you can take to help you evacuate the area as quickly and efficiently as possible. For months after Hurricane Michael, the El Dorado could be seen turned over in the bay behind Gulf Coast State College. Today it was deployed in the Gulf of Mexico to be made into an artificial reef.
Highway 388, where Bay County Sheriff's Department and Florida Highway Patrol responded to a semi-truck that flipped over. According to the Bay County Sheriff's Department, the accident occurred around 3:10 p.m. today.
Well, last week it was reported an Alabama man had contracted necrotizing fasciitis in Panama City Beach. But according to the Florida Department of Health in Bay County, various bacteria can cause this complication. According to the report, it was a strand of strep, which can live on skin and can be contracted from many places, not just water. News Channel 7's Katie Griffitts spoke with local health officials about the different bacteria in the Gulf.
You might have seen the advisory posted for Beach Access 41 in Panama City Beach for the past 4 weeks.
There is a stormwater runoff area right there, and typically in the summer months when we get a lot of rain in the afternoons, that's when we see the advisories going up at some of the locations.
This is because of an elevated presence of bacteria known as Enterococcus, which can make people sick.
It could affect you in two ways. One is if you ingest it, you could wind up with symptoms very similar to food poisoning, vomiting, diarrhea, those sorts of things. If you had an open cutter wound, it could become infected.
The infection caused by Enterococcus is completely different from the infection caused by Vibrio vulnificus or Group A streptococcus, which is associated with what people refer to as flesh-eating bacteria.
It's very rare. Necrotizing fasciitis is a complication from an infection. So the most common bacteria that causes the necrotizing fasciitis is Group A streptococcus. It can also be caused by Vibrio vulnificus, which is a naturally occurring bacteria that lives in warm marine waters.
Unlike Vibrio vulnificus, Group A strep can be found in places other than saltwater, meaning you don't have to enter the Gulf to contract it. Necrotizing fasciitis doesn't eat the flesh, but rather causes it to die.
Necrotizing fasciitis is not a bacteria. It's not a flesh-eating bacteria. It's a complication.
According to the Florida Department of Health website, there have been 0 confirmed cases of Vibrio vulnificus in Bay County this year.
Officials can't test the water for Vibrio vulnificus like they can Enterococcus, but say it's always present in the Gulf and always has been.
I believe that our beaches are safe. The water is safe. If we do have an advisory posted, that people take that into account before they go in the water. And any time, whether there's an advisory or not, if you have any open cuts or wounds, we don't recommend going in the water.
In Bay County, Katie Griffitts, News Channel 7.
Now, if you do enter the water with an open cut or wound, the FDOH suggests rinsing the cut with fresh water and antibacterial soap to prevent infection.